Today we're going to have a very interesting and exciting session in which students of photojournalism are going to ask questions from Mr. Navroze Contractor about photography and photojournalism. These questions could be your questions too. So join us and get to know more about photography and photojournalism through the knowledge and insights of Mr. Navroze Contractor.
Sir, you have worked with people from all walks of life. So my question is, how do you start conversations with your subjects?
Sometimes you share their food if they give you. If you feel that the best thing is humor, so if you laugh, a lot of ice is broken, and that immediately gets the opposite person to relax in front of you. You can, depending on the kind of talk that you've had with them, is that I think in India I've noticed that, or in Eastern countries, including in China and in the Northeast and all, it is a very important thing that you appreciate the food they give you, And we Indians are very fussy about what we do, what we eat and what we don't eat. Of course, if somebody gives you a snake, then you might say, sorry, I don't like it, I won't have it. But you can't go, gee, shit, you can't do that in anybody's house, Or if the tea is too sweet, you can't say that it is too sweet and you leave it behind. So breaking bread is like making friendship, And if somebody comes to your house, it's a simple question, and you make something for them and they make a face, you will not like it. And in India, in the absolutely the poorest of the poorest house you go to, they will give you water and they will give you tea. They will send their son or daughter out running, or husband, and get this much of milk that they will give you tea.
I have a question. Has any of your work been influenced by your personal experiences or your life?
You see, I didn't drop down from the sky as a talented photographer. I took birth very gradually, like all of you are taking birth, And there are lots of people who have affected my work and whom I have been affected. I have been extremely fortunate that I have had very good teachers and I respect them, and a lot of people have molded my way of seeing. So I have my own heroes in photography whom I still look up to, and I hope that someday I will match what they can do. I'm way down the line because they are so much up there, I'm still in awe of people whose work I appreciate. They may some people are not really nice people, but their work is absolutely quite fantastic, So there are things that when you are a little baby and you start growing up into a man or a woman, then there are so many people who, you have to take so many steps. So there is you start with your parents and your mother, and then your friends and your school and your college and your teachers. So everything affects your way of lifestyle, Then what kind of but it all happens to us because we are brought up like that, It's like, so we are all, the way you come from, the way you have grown up and all that must be completely different from mine. But as far as I am concerned, you are a young, lovely lady sitting in front of me and asking me a question, wanting to know something, and because I have gone through what I have gone through, it's my duty to answer you. So it's like that, a lot of people mold us, So when we go to class and we look at Google all the time, and we are constantly, when somebody is telling us something, we want to constantly say, look at him whether he is telling the truth or not. I think it's a very insulting way, because if you want to recheck what this fellow has said, then you can go back and you can stay at home and you can recheck, It's like if you tell me that I am from Shillong or Nagaland, I will ask her, where is she from, man? So it's so insulting, no? So that means that you are telling me, I don't even believe what you are saying. But at that moment, you have to believe what that person is saying, and you have to, make your own judgment as to how much you will absorb from that and how much you will not absorb from that. So that's the thing. And humility is another thing, that whenever you go to any teacher, you may not like him, you may not like the subject and everything like that. Many times we learn so many things in school which are completely useless to us when we grow up. You know, I mean, we don't even think about what we are. Today, if I sit for my SSLC, I'll definitely fail. You know, but there are some things that have been inculcated into us, and some water has come, some fertilizer has come into us. That's why we have become what we are.
Sir, how far has your traveling and interactions with people helped you in shaping your pictures?
Travel is one of the most important aspects of education, and when somebody tells me that I am a graduate from Pondicherry University and I've got a degree from here and I've got a degree from there, you know, I would like to meet a person who is a graduate of the universe. You know. So some people are educated and they are not wise, which we have plenty of them in our country. You know. Some people are not educated and they are very, very wise, and some people are educated and also wise. You know. So there is a difference between information and wisdom. Remember, education gives you information. The way you use that information is your wisdom. You know, information and your wisdom will stop you from doing something or make you do something. You understand, no? So that way my photographs, when I take a photograph or when I take anybody does anything like that, all this is at the back of your head and it comes out quite. Now today morning I must say that we went out into the fish market and the vegetable market and the flower market and all that, and I took about 50-60 pictures, and I don't even have 2 frames which I am happy with. But that's all right. It doesn't come all the time. You know, maybe my next visit and my next visit and my next visit will be better. But at least I can tell people that there is a fantastic fish market in Pondicherry, or there is a terrific flower market in, and you know, so because I've experienced it and I've seen it.
We hope that you enjoyed the conversation and the interaction of the students with Mr. Navroze Contractor. We've got more and we'll be back in the next video.